We're here at Yellow Jacket Beach at the Clean Water Festival put on by the Upper Chattahoochee River Keepers. We're going to be talking to several different people that are here to educate you about keeping the water clean and let you know how to have a great time on the lake. So stay tuned, we've got much more to come.
On April 5th, 2007, I almost drowned out there. My boat sank, forcing me to have to swim. Luckily, someone came to my rescue.
My name's David Barr, Park Ranger with the Corps of Engineers at West Point Lake. What happened to Andrew could happen to anyone. It's important to learn how to swim and always wear a life jacket when boating. Your family will be glad you did.
With us now we have Greg Moyer with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife. Greg, welcome to the show.
Hi, how's it going?
Now Greg, as I said, you work for the Fish and Wildlife
That's
Agency.
correct.
And what do you do there?
Well, I'm actually a geneticist with the Fish and Wildlife Service, but over in Warm Springs, what we usually do is raise a lot of fish. It's a hatchery over there for the most part. A lot of the fish we raise, the striped bass, go right into West Point Lake. So we do a lot of work with Georgia DNR and West Point Lake and the Corps of Engineers as well.
Great. And today you brought a little display
Yes.
For the folks today at the Clean Water Festival. And tell us a little bit about what you brought.
Right, so this is kind of our outreach event, and what we brought were some sliders and turtles, sliders and common musk turtles. The kids really like them. They seem to really be able to pick them up, so it's a touch tank exhibit, interactive and hands-on. We also brought some crayfish and goldfish to kind of show the people that, hey, we've got a pristine environment over there, but we also have another aquarium that's full of trash. Where would you rather like to live if you were a fish or a crayfish? Probably not in the trashy environment. And so we try to talk to the kids about how it's important to clean up our lakes and our water systems, because it's critical to the habitat and all the organisms in it.
Right. And you know, the best thing is to get kids at this age, you know, teach them how to take care of the environment and the importance of wildlife and that sort of thing. And that's what it's all about.
That's the most important part, is to get our youth involved in the outdoors. And that's what we really think is important.
What was your favorite part of what we have back here? You like the turtles?
All right.
Yeah, they're pretty cool, aren't they?
Why don't you go show us some?
Yeah, and you're going to be sure to not litter anymore either, right? But that's what we're hoping for. And we appreciate you coming out today.
This is great. It's been a fun time so far, and hopefully it's going to get better.
Yeah, we've had beautiful weather, and hopefully some people are going to really start cramming in here, and we can teach them a thing or two.
I know. I look forward to it.
All right. Well, thanks again for being on the show.
Yeah, thank you.
With us now we have Mr. George Collins with the U.S. Coast Guard Auxiliary here at the Clean Water Festival. Mr. Collins, thank you for being with us.
Well, it's a pleasure to be out here because the Coast Guard Auxiliary, we're the volunteer branch of the Coast Guard. We do not do law enforcement or military action, but our biggest goal is safety and education. We don't want anybody to get hurt out here on the lake, and we want to give them as much education as we can. We also offer boating safety courses. We do vessel safety checks. We also, believe it or not, actually check on the buoys out here in the lake to make sure everything is up to par.
Great, and that's what you guys did today. You know, you brought some great material with you, and you're here to really teach the people that come out to the Clean Water Festival.
Right. We find the biggest problem with boaters sometimes is ignorance, and you know, I've been boating for 30 years, but they might have been doing it wrong.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure they have as much information as they can. We want everybody to be in life jackets. We do not want any drowning on the lake. And we offer all this information is free. You can even sign up with us and we can do a safe boating vessel safety check for you. We can even make an arrangement to even be at your house if you want it done, so you don't have to travel so far. I am at the Highland Marina on the 3rd Saturday in the month in the afternoon doing vessel safety checks. So if anybody would like to come out then,
every 3rd Saturday at Highland.
At Highland Marina in the afternoons, yes. And doing vessel safety checks there, plus supplying information. This is a federal lake, so it does go under the more stringent regulations.
That's correct, sir. Yeah, and you know, and as you said, it's all about educating people, and that's what both the Corps of Engineers and the Coast Guard Auxiliary, you know, we strive to do, is to make sure that people can come out here and they know what to do to be safe, so they can come back time and time again.
Yeah, the biggest thing that will ruin your weekend on the boat or on the weekend on the beach is somebody getting hurt.
Absolutely.
And that's one thing nobody wants to see anybody get hurt.
Exactly. And we thank you for being here today, and hopefully you're going to make some great contacts with people and maybe teach some people a few things.
Well, we already have too. We already started, and thank you for letting us be here.
All right, thank you. And we appreciate you being here, sir.
Well, my pleasure. This is my cohort over here, Lewis Higgins. Appreciate him being here.
Thank you also. Yeah. And we've got much more to come. With us now, we have local fishing guide, Mr. Ron Savage. Ron, thanks for being with us today.
Good to be here, Rocky. Good to be here.
And Ron, you're here at the Clean Water Festival, and what are you doing here today?
Well, I'm here to talk about fishing to any of the young folks or even the older folks, anybody that wants to know about the fishing on West Point Lake and how it's been, where they can go. You know, West Point Lake, you can fish anywhere around the shoreline you want to.
That's right.
You don't have to have a boat. You can come in here and just come down to the water anywhere, but I've got some special spots, Rocky.
Your secret spots,
Secret spots that you can come down and actually catch fish from the bank.
Great.
You know, the old story is everybody on the bank is throwing out in the water, and everybody out in the water is throwing towards the bank.
That's correct.
Most of the time you will have some fish close to the bank. You'll have some brim. Right now the brim are bedding. The mayflies have just hatched, so we've got a lot of brim activity around the banks everywhere. And that will bring in the bass too.
Okay.
And the bass will feed on the brim, so you have a golden opportunity at this time of year to catch brim and bass close to the bank. A lot of folks come out and they crappie fish during the springtime, and then they just kind of disappear the rest of the year. But the first part of June is tremendous for fishing for brim.
Yeah.
And like I say, the bass will come in too. And we have an abundance population of catfish on this lake.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And most folks don't fish for catfish, but they're real good. We have channel cats, we have flatheads, and they're just tremendous eating fish.
Absolutely.
You can take a little frozen chicken liver, buy it at your local market, bring it down, get you about a 3/0 hook, pretty good size weight, and just sling it out from the bank and they'll find it.
And just wait for them to get hungry, right?
They'll find it, that's right. And one good thing, Rocky, we've got good lake levels this year. The lake is down some 4.5 feet, and it's been that for a while. And as long as we can continue to get these showers, it'll probably stay about like that. Now, it all depends on shower activity. You know, if we don't get a lot of showers, a lot of rain, the lake level's liable to recede some. But don't be concerned about that, because it's been that way for ever since the lake's been here.
Right.
And I'm celebrating my 33rd year, so
you might know a little bit about it, right?
Been here a long time.
You've got a little bit of time on the water, don't you?
I absolutely do. It's a beautiful lake. A lot of scenery. You're liable to see turkeys, bald eagles out here, ospreys. There's just so many things to see, and it's an exciting. And therapy, you can't have a better therapy.
Right. I mean, that's what West Point Lake's it's here for people to come out and use, and it's a great fishery out here.
That's right.
You know, we've got, last year we had the Bassmaster Elite Series out here, which, you're talking about some of the best bass fishermen in the entire world came here to Little West Point Lake, and, and they had a great time.
That's right. And if y'all out there have a grandson or a son or a daughter even, that'll take them fishing, get them away from the computers, get them away from the, the MyFace and all that stuff. I don't know anything about that, but get them outside this year. The best advice I can tell you, parents out there and grandparents, get your kids in the outdoors this summer and let them enjoy it. And if you need somebody to help them, I'd be glad. I took a 9-year-old day before yesterday, caught a 5.5-pound bass.
Great.
And if you'd only seen his face when he caught it, that was worth $1 million.
Right.
See his face.
Well, how can people get a hold of you, Ron?
They can just simply call me at 957-8029 here in LaGrange, 706, of course.
Okay.
And I'd be glad to come out and talk to their. I went out to this 9-year-old's house and talked to him before we went fishing. He was so excited, had so many questions to ask, So. It
ended up being a great day for him, and we want everybody to come out here and have a great day and enjoy West Point Lake.
West Point Lake surrounds LaGrange. If you think you don't live on the lake, if you live in LaGrange, you live on West Point Lake. Because it's such a beautiful place, and it's meant so much to this community all through the years. It's brought so much commerce and so much revenue to this area. It's unbelievable. So y'all come out and see us.
Absolutely. And Ron, we thank you for everything that you do here on the lake, and as well for being with us today.
I thank you, Rocky.
All right, thank you, sir. With us now we have Mr. Larry Ninus, and you're a member of the Upper Chattahoochee River Keepers.
I am.
And today you're showing people how to test the water, correct?
Correct. It's important for us. We do 4 basic tests. We do temperature, we do pH, we do dissolved oxygen, and we do alkalinity.
Okay.
2 of the most important that we do would be dissolved oxygen.
Sure.
Fish need oxygen.
Absolutely.
Plants produce oxygen. Wave action produces oxygen, and also when the water's colder produces oxygen. And there's natural cycles for that. So in the summertime, the dissolved oxygen is usually lower, and it's higher in the wintertime. But that answers the mystery for a lot of people of why fish are deeper in the summertime, because they're down in the bottom where there's more dissolved oxygen. Alkalinity for us tells us how quickly a body of water can react to a change in the pH, if it's acidic or basic. All 4 of those together are indicators of the health of a water stream or a watershed. If any of those are off, then usually we test for phosphates or nitrates. And that lets you know if there's a drain field leak, if there's an industrial leak or something that's getting the water that's not supposed to be there. But today when we tested, we got a 9.5 for the pH, which is natural because we're right here close to the shore. Dissolved oxygen was a 4, which is good. We usually say a 10 to a 12 in the wintertime, so a dissolved oxygen of 4 is about normal for this close into the shore.
And the dissolved oxygen, that's really important because we have to watch those numbers because we want to avoid a fish kill, especially.
Exactly.
Yeah,
a low dissolved oxygen on the surface of the water is normal for the summertime. If you had a drop in dissolved oxygen, then you look at something like an algal bloom or something that's consuming that oxygen.
Great. And with this today, you've got a kit, and you're actually showing people how to test it.
Correct. We're doing the pH, temperature, we're doing conductivity that looks for particulates in the water, and we're doing dissolved oxygen.
Yeah, so it's really a fairly simple process. You know, if someone was interested, you know, a student or anyone, they could probably come out and test the water themselves.
They could. I've actually, with the Long Cane Creek crawlers, my students would do the test and I would supervise.
Okay, great.
So it's simple enough that students could do that. Sure.
Yeah, and as you said, you do test the water pretty often here at West Point Lake, correct?
I do.
Yeah, and you test Long Cane Creek?
I test Long Cane Creek, and it meets the normal cycles. The dissolved oxygen is always in range. The pH is in range. Haven't had any problems.
You know, and that's very important because, you know, I think there used to be a stigma with West Point Lake that, you know, it was a dirty lake, you know, but really that's what these tests are showing, is that it's a clean lake, and it's out here for people to use.
It's okay to swim in West Point Lake.
Absolutely.
It certainly is. Yep.
So we want people out here to be out here swimming and fishing, and this is a way for them to feel safe about it.
It is. I'd swim in West Point Lake.
Absolutely.
I sure would.
Great. Well, sir, we appreciate you being here, and Larry, we thank you so much for all the work you do, and your continued work I'm sure you're going to continue to do.
Thank you.
All right. Take care. With us now, we have Mr. Mike Meyer, and he's actually an employee of the Upper Chattahoochee River Keepers. And you've got a very interesting diagram that I'm really kind of curious what this is all about. Explain to us what you got here.
Okay, yeah, this is our EnviroScape. It's a model of our environment. Basically, you've got your city, factories, you've got your farmlands, you've got your water treatment plants, residential areas. And basically the point of this model is to show that it's all connected, that we use the same water, and when you pollute water, it doesn't just stay where it is, it has to move and get treated. So we use this model to show kids mostly, and adults.
Hey, adults too, I can learn here.
Yeah, everybody can learn something out of this. So basically we just show how water flows in a watershed. If it goes in a building here, if I can get it in there, it flows through. It goes into a water holding area. It gets treated. Some residential areas aren't hooked up to the municipal system, so they have septic systems. Farmlands, runoff can affect the health of the river and the health of the creeks, so stuff doesn't just stay there. Basically, water that ends up in the creek either goes to a treatment plant or it runs off into the creeks and streams, which sometimes happens. Basically, hopefully the water that comes through the water treatment plant is cleaner than it went in, and it's all available for our use. And we have to remember that this is all only water that we have. The cycle of water is that it rains, it evaporates, creates clouds, and rains again, and it's all the same water over and over again. So once it's dirty, we have to clean it before we can use it again. So one of the take-home messages is conservation, keeping the water clean, And that's about it.
Because if there's we're all adding, you're putting water into the system, and,
Right.
and we're seeing where too much water, especially like in this agriculture and spilling over different things, it's all connected. It all ends up, if you want to pretend like this was the lake, it all ends up in the lake.
It does,
and, so it's important to really teach, especially like you said, kids at a young age, everything they do, not just in the river, in the lake, it all can be tied in and affect the lake. Everything from spilling chemicals outside, pouring oil on the ground, and throwing your trash out the window.
Right. Just be aware. Yeah. Absolutely. Be aware.
And so we thank you so much for being here and hopefully teaching us a little bit.
Hopefully
and continue your mission with the River Keepers of keeping the water as natural and beautiful as possible.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Mike.
Absolutely. Appreciate it.
Welcome to Holiday Campground. We have roughly 162 sites in the campground. We have an ample supply of 30 amp and 50 amp sites, and we have an ample supply of primitive sites for the more hardy. We have 2 boat ramps. We have 2 group camping sites that have 5 camper and 5 primitive sites. It's good fishing around the lake. It takes about 13 miles to go around the campground, which means all the sites are well spaced out. Almost all of them are water accessible, and some of them are right on the water.
This guy before? Let me see if I got a bigger picture of him. Oh, big picture.
Oh, yeah,
what is this? It's close to a crab. It's a crawfish or a crayfish. Have you seen those before? So these can tell you if the water is clean or dirty. Oh, you've seen them on...
With us now we have Lauren Johnson with the Georgia Department of Natural Resources. Lauren, welcome to the show.
Nice to be here today.
And where exactly are you stationed at, Lauren?
I'm out of FD Roosevelt State Park in Pine Mountain, Georgia.
Okay, great. Well, I'm sure everybody's real familiar with what you got going on here, but tell us a little bit about what you're talking about today.
I am talking to folks about an alternative way to do water quality testing, and it is through collecting aquatic insects, also known as macroinvertebrates, in any water that you have nearby.
Okay, so basically, if the things that live in the water are healthy and doing well, you can consider the water pretty clean? Is that kind of...
Certain insects can only live in really healthy water, while others thrive in polluted water. So we're hoping to find a nice middle ground when we test water, because then you'd rather be in cleaner water than polluted water.
Sure. And is this something that you normally teach people just throughout the year?
I do. I love to teach younger students about water quality and just getting kids outside and seeing that mud is not a bad thing. It is a great experience for kids to have, just to get outside and enjoy nature for a few hours.
Absolutely. And for the folks that are watching that this kind of piques their interest, where can they get some more information on it?
You're always more than welcome to come to our park system and learn more about water quality. Other organizations like Adopt a Stream are fantastic folks for getting really specific information about water quality.
Yeah, and we invite people to not just come out to West Point Lake, but to visit you also at FDR.
Oh yeah, anywhere there's water is a good place to be.
Absolutely. Well, Lauren, thank you for being on the show and being here at the Clean Water Festival, teaching us a little bit more about keeping the water clean.
Thanks.
All right, thank you so much. With us now I have Mr. Jason Olseth, and you're a member of the Upper Chattahoochee River Keepers, so you're actually an employee of the River Keepers, correct?
Correct. I'm the technical programs director and also our boat captain for our patrol boat.
Okay, and as you mentioned, you're the boat captain, and tell us a little bit about the boat that you brought out here with us.
So this is our patrol boat that we use to run up and down different stretches of the river, but usually between Buford Dam and West Point Lake.
Okay.
We're the only organization that's out looking for environmental violations, sewage spills, fish kills, and we also do a lot of water quality monitoring up and down, trying to make sure that the quality of the water in the river is good.
So you do some really important things, for the health and life of the river.
Yeah, if we don't have a presence out there, somebody that's out there collecting water samples, sending them to laboratories, and making sure that the water is good, then we're not going to be able to fix problems when they arise.
Great, great. And this boat is specifically designed for river use, correct?
Yeah, we had this custom built by a company out of Oquawka, Illinois, and it can run in about 3 or 4 inches of water on a jet drive. So without a jet, you're not getting through a lot of stretches of this river. So we can get up and go 30 miles at a time and look at different stretches of the river.
Wow, that's really amazing, and especially considering it's a pretty good sized boat to be able to operate in 2 or 3 inches of water.
Yeah, we wanted it to be big so that we could take people out, and so we could take different crews and lots of equipment. So it does make it difficult sometimes, but it's a high performance boat.
Absolutely. And you mentioned that you go out and you do the water monitoring and that type of thing in between West Point Lake and Buford Dam. How often do you guys generally do that?
We do it pretty routinely. We're usually out at least once a week, whether we're out on the lakes or we're out on the river. We maintain a presence in most of the watershed to collect the water samples by land, by boat, and
do some really
lots of
important
things.
work. Yeah. And today you've got it out, not necessarily out testing the water, but out here allowing everybody to have a good time and giving boat rides.
Yeah, we're out here at the festival giving boat rides. A lot of people that don't have a chance to get out on the lake can get out on the lake today.
Exactly. And we're always glad to get you down here at West Point Lake so you can enjoy it with us. And Jason, we appreciate all of the things that you do out here.
I appreciate it. Glad to be here.
All right, take care. And we'll be right back.
We are the smallest and most quaint campground on West Point Lake. We have 58 campsites here. All of our campsites have water and electric. We have shower houses that are nice and clean. We have laundry services. We have the best view of West Point Lake anywhere on this lake. On 4th of July weekend, off of our shoreline, you can see the best view of the fireworks from anywhere on the lake. And we'd like to see everybody come here to Whitetail Ridge Campground and visit us.
We're here at the Clean Water Festival with 2 very excited participants. Girl, what's your name?
I'm Ella.
Ellen, what's your name?
I'm Sadie.
And are you guys having a great time today?
Yeah, we're having a great time.
Okay, good deal. What was your favorite part?
Mine was the kayaking.
Okay, that sounds like a lot of fun. What was your favorite part?
We did an experiment over there to see how clean the water was.
Oh, cool. Was the water clean?
Yeah. It was 7.5.
Okay, great. And you guys know that we're out here, we're celebrating clean water.
Yeah.
Now, have you learned something today, that really is going to make it easier for you to appreciate the clean water? What have you learned to do?
We have learned to, we've learned what bugs, how to, what bugs where to swim, where to swim and where to not swim for the bugs.
You learned that from the lady from the Georgia Department of Natural Resources.
I know,
right?
She's a substitute at my school.
Awesome. But it sounds like you guys are really getting a lot of good ideas on how to keep the water clean, right?
Yeah.
Well, we thank you so much for being here today, and we want you to continue to have fun at West Point Lake, okay? Yeah. All right. Thank you, ladies.
Y'all tell Baby Dolls what you want to do.
With us now, we've got Big Sam and all your helpers here, Sam. And you've been providing food today for everybody that's come out to the Clean Water Fest. And you've got a delicious menu over here. I've been smelling it all day and I've been salivating the whole time. So we want to thank you first off for coming out here and being a part of this big event. And second off, I want to know what you got cooking back there.
Oh, well, today we've got pulled pork. We do baked potato salad, beans. We've got homemade brats, hot dogs, and chicken.
Ah, it sounds good. Yeah. It not just sounds good, it smells good. And I look forward to getting a hold of some of this stuff later. But again, thank you so much for being out here. And where are y'all located?
Well, we appreciate y'all inviting us out. And we are located in the old Hillside community at 625 Jefferson Street.
625 Jefferson Street. Well, again, it smells great. I can feel the heat coming off of it, so I know it's good. But thank you again for being here, and thank you for being on the show.
Hey, you're more than welcome. All you ladies say bye.
Bye.
With us now we have Jill Cicino, who's become just a regular on this show. And Jill, right now we're at the Clean Water Festival, which basically this is your child because you've done the majority of the work of putting this together. And I have to say, it's turned into a wonderful event. We've got lots of participation. Everybody seems to be having a great time, and I think they're really learning something as well.
Yes, I agree. I'm very pleased about the turnout that we've had today. lucked out. We have a beautiful day.
Oh,
so
couldn't get any
it's
better than
fantastic. But we have had a wonderful turnout. We've had great partners and great sponsors to pull this event out. So for our first year, we are very pleased at the turnout for this
Absolutely.
festival.
And really, these things, they all fall so heavily on the volunteers and the sponsors who are willing to donate the goods and donate their time to make this happen.
Yes, and thank you. Yes, I would like to thank all of my sponsors. First, we had LaGrange Grocery donated a kayak for us. We had Home Depot donated some water conservation kits. You can retrofit your faucets from our local Home Depot.
Great.
So I really appreciate that. We had Coca-Cola donated our drinks. Shout out to the branding firm, a local design agency that did all of our design work. And
they turned out wonderful.
They did. They did
Very
all of our
professional.
posters, all of our event signage, so we appreciate that, all of our promotion from the branding firm downtown. And we also had Pine Mountain Adventures, our kayaker. We really appreciate all of their work that they've done to drag all these kayaks out here to expose people. And from what I understand, people are loving the kayaks. And,
I've talked to several people today, and a couple young ladies earlier told me that was their favorite part of the day, as they got to go out on the kayak.
I know. I appreciate that. They're local here in LaGrange, and people forget sometimes you can kayak and on that. So I'm appreciative. Highland Marina sponsored a boat. They brought their pontoon boat out, so we really appreciate that. We had Ron Savage, a fishing guide, out to talk to people about fishing and get people excited about that. We also had the U.S. Fish and Wildlife out with some turtle tanks, and that's been
that was very
really,
interesting.
I know the kids love that. They love it's hands-on, and of course our friends, the Corps of Engineers. You guys were doing some water safety for us. Very important out on the water anytime. So we're appreciative to y'all for being able to do that and to have the jackets out. We also had the Coast Guard Auxiliary out. A lot of people don't realize that we have the Coast Guard down here looking after our water. So it takes all of us. The river keeper is tickled to be in this area now working, and it takes all of us. And hopefully you've had a chance to get to know some of our staff today. But we're excited about that, and I just want to make sure that I didn't leave anyone off. Jackson Printing, I wanted to give a thanks to them as well. They did a lot of our printing as well to get the posters. The branding firm designed it, and then Jackson printed it for us. So as a nonprofit, we are very appreciative of partners that can help us put an event like this on and make it free for the public. That's what I wanted to do. It was very important to me that this was a free day that people could afford and come out and enjoy. We have Big Sam's barbecue out, so it was nice of Big Sam to bring all his wonderful people. I had to buy it, but it's very cost effective, and we appreciate him dragging it.
It smelled really good.
It smells so good. So we appreciate him having his barbecue out.
And let's not forget all that the river keepers have done. You guys have had so many members show up today and volunteer their time. I know a lot of them coming down from Atlanta.
Yes. Let me tell you one other sponsor that I don't want to forget to thank. I would like to thank Butts Mill Farm. They were very generous over in Harris County. They were very generous with their donations for our prizes today as well. So thank you to Butts Mill Farm. Yes, we are appreciative. Our staff in Atlanta came down to do our UCR patrol boats. Came down, they got up very early. Our executive director is here today. We've been doing water monitoring out today, because it's very important to us that we get people out and volunteers out to do water monitoring. And so we've got that staff member out. And Keep Troop Beautiful came out to help us today with our recycling. So we really want to thank Keep Troop Beautiful for bringing their recycling out.
And you know, Jill, all these things, we're here to have a great time, but there's a great message out there, and that's all the work that the river keepers have done to keep the water clean, and for us to think about the water and make sure that it's clean for the next generation.
That's right. And if we don't educate everyone and the next group coming up, then we're all going to be in a mess. We need to have our clean water protected. So we're trying to train everyone that's out here on this water.
And again, Jill, kudos on a job well done. It's been a beautiful event. Everything's gone great. We've had the beautiful weather, and I couldn't be more excited about next year.
And thank you to Rocky for all of his help. I couldn't have done it without him. Rocky and David Barr have helped a ton, so thank you, and we appreciate your help.
Well, we're glad to do it.
All right, clean water. Everybody.
Absolutely.
It's for everybody.
Exactly. And keep everybody that's watching, remember, we need to keep our water clean.
We have a great facility here. We have numerous tables and grills for you to spend a good day out here. And we have a great beach out there. It's a nice, wide, sandy beach. and also a pavilion where you can rent to have family reunions or weddings and so forth. We also have 2 boat ramps across the way, so come out, enjoy yourself. You'll have your family out here for great fun.